And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying.
This is somebody who longs for that time in their life when they felt they were all golden and just potential, and they were in the cool relationship and they went to the cool school and everything was perfect for them. No familiarity with that myself. Had a dream about it while I walk myself back home. Wanna scream about it, trying to leave myself alone. Hey, alright, welcome back, guys. That's a song from my ever inevitable album. I really hope there's not too much glare in my glasses right now. I'm taking them off. At the beginning of that little tune, my tuner fell off. My guitar. This was a free giveaway tuner. Wow, that's never happened before. But I sure am glad. Let me make sure I'm still recording. We find ourselves back in the Taylor Swift genre. Last week we jumped into Adele's new song. Check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. But I know we want to check out Taylor Swift, so let's do so.
I've been thinking about addiction, and I've been thinking about people who, if they're either suffering through mental illness or they're suffering through addiction, or they have an everyday struggle. No one pats them on the back every day, but every day they are actively fighting something. But there are so many days that nobody gives them credit for that.
Yeah.
And so how often must somebody who's in that sort of internal struggle must want to say to everyone in the room, you have no idea how close I am to going back to a dark place, or you have no idea.
You have no idea how hard it is to get to the point where you guys think is still shitty.
Yes.
Like, I think about that a lot, like the idea of doing your best or trying is one that only a person knows, and you know when you're doing it. And it's so hard, which is what I get from that song, when you're doing your damn best and it's not good enough.
Yep.
And it rarely is.
Yeah.
Okay, pausing there. Addiction, mental illness. Tragically, I know about both of these topics. And I certainly have a history of depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. If you have post-traumatic stress disorder, there are recovery groups for you to talk to. If you have depression, if you have mild depression, whatever, there's invariably other groups of people out there that you can talk to. So just know that. I really like that she's talking about this. Again, she seems to be coming at it from the point of view of somebody who's never gone through that, and that she's going to take on that point of view. That's tricky. Now, I'm sure she's had her own history with mental stuff. We all do. Everybody has a mind. We all have a history of mental stuff. Let's choose to see her as being empathetic. Let's choose to be that she's being sympathetic here, and maybe somebody could take it as condescending. Okay, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt here and say, they're just trying to be kind. They're just trying to expand their perspective a little bit. Anyway, continuing on.
But it's it's a very isolating feeling, which I think is funny because it actually is the thing that binds all of us. Is we're all doing our best and feeling like it's not even close to good enough.
Yeah, I had this idea that the first verse would be about someone who is in a sort of a life crisis and has just been trying and failing in their relationship, has been, messing things up with people they love, has been letting everyone down, and kind of has driven to this overlook, this cliff, and is just in the car going, I could do whatever I want in this moment, and it could affect everything forever.
I think we can hear her voice cracking a little bit here, and she's really connecting with this, messing up relationships, letting everybody down. These are universal things, right? Again, for the non-sociopathic of us, for the people who care. And often if you love music and if you're a musician and if you're a human, you often care. I think she definitely has a personal familiarity with this, even though she's kind of presenting it from the perspective of somebody else.
But this person backs up and drives home, and
Yeah, I love that. The idea that not driving off the cliff is an act of trying.
Yeah.
Which is almost the ultimate act of trying.
Yeah. And then the second verse is about
they're both very connected to this, you can tell.
Someone who felt like they had a lot of potential in their life. I think there are a lot of mechanisms for us in our school days, in high school or college, to excel and to be patted on the back for something. And then I think a lot of people get out of school.
Oh yeah.
And there are less abilities for them to get gold stars.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these decisions, and you have to pave your own way, and there's no set class course you can take, and and I think a lot of people feel really swept up in that. And so I was thinking about this person who is really lost in life and then starts drinking, and every second is trying not to.
She's talking about another thing that's very generational right now. We live in a changing world. We live in a changing economy. The jobs that were there 5 years ago are not there now. The jobs that are here now won't be here in 5 years. The world is transitioning to a Uber economy. If you've watched this, I've worked in retail. I've worked as a bartender. I've worked as a waiter. I've worked as a personal assistant. A few years ago, I was in a job that I really actually I felt was commensurate with my skills and abilities and desires in and around kind of Hollywood production stuff, and I hated it. I'm so much happier now, even though I'm living in a tiny apartment and making production music. I'm happy kind of to be here. That's for me. That's not for everybody. But I definitely remember really chiding myself right out of college and trying to do the exact perfect thing that I wanted to do for my whole life. And because what they do in school is they promise you, it's not just that they give you gold stars and pats on the back and they read your writing. That's the first thing you're going to have trouble doing, by the way, when you get out of college or anywhere, is just having anybody actually just read your stuff. Is that they tell you that your work will be the primary fulfilling aspect of your life, that your life is your job. You are how much money you can make for other people in a particular vocation, particular profession. And so I think that this is a generational realization. Sorry for the terrible word choice there. Anyway, so let's hear this song.
I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout. Could have followed my fears all the way down. And baby, I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying.
Okay, so really almost kind of a monotone vibe, like you're in a depression. It's like a headache almost. It's just this kind of gloam, this kind of mist that comes across. I love songs like this where it's almost just kind of scribbling, and it's just an A, and it's not even, and we don't even hear really the rhythm behind it. We just kind of hear the sustained chord, then up to D, back down to A. Very simple. Been having a hard time adjusting. Had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. Didn't know if you care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. All major chords still. She loves to do that. She loves to sing the kind of melancholic minor-y vocal over the major chords. Again, it has that messy vibe. D, A major 7th, right? Then we go to F sharp minor. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout. Back up to D. That's the only minor chord you need in that whole song, just to give it that. It still comes across as a minor song. She seems to know a lot about the circular nature of depression, where you get mad at yourself for getting mad at yourself, and you get mad, you have a hard time adjusting, and you get mad at yourself for that. And you had potential, and somehow you're mad at yourself for having potential. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. So not only is she incriminating herself about not knowing what this other person is going to feel, but that she was even upset in the first place. The old standard about depression is, depression is worrying about the past, anxiety is worrying about the future. Okay, sure. I think depression is also internal. You're beating yourself up. Some people rage out. Some people just attack others. Some people just destroy the world because they're mad at the world. Some people just want to harm others. Just what they want to do. And some people don't want to harm others, and so they harm themselves. And there's a lot of different ways that depression kind of enacts itself on the world and enacts itself on ourselves. But I like that she has kind of a familiarity with it. I don't know if she's ever gone through any sort of depression. This is interesting because this could be a friend. This could be a lover. This could be a sibling, a parent, somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, that you realize, you know what? I'm upset about this. It's not that I'm not depressed. It's not that I don't have incredible anxiety or incredible depression, but I found a specific thing I can do right now. There's a great movie called The Bridge, if anybody's ever seen it, about suicide. One of the most compelling things I've ever seen is in that movie, and it's a man who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge to kill himself, and he survived. He landed, and there just happened to be a Coast Guard boat patrol right there at that moment. They pulled him out of the water, and they gave him CPR, and he had broken his legs and I think shattered his pelvis, but thank God he survived. And he was talking in this documentary, and he said the second that he left the bridge, he regretted it. He said the second he was off, he said he knew he had made the wrong decision, right? And this to me speaks to that there's that part of your voice, the part of your brain in the back of your head that says, yes, let's acknowledge this pain, but let's see if there's something specific in there, right? Maybe there's a person we're mad at. Maybe there's a relationship that we're struggling through. And not to beat yourself up for going to the ledge, but to realize, to honor that feeling and then to follow it somewhere else. That is brave. That is brave. If you have any familiarity with depression or suicidal ideation, you can relate to what it takes to kind of pull yourself out and to go and just ask somebody for help.
Told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential, and my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here, pouring out my heart to a stranger, but I didn't pour the whiskey. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
just wanted you to know this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. The whole song is in A major, but then the chorus, you jump down here to that lovely F sharp minor in there. This is a story about somebody who had a lot of potential in high school, was doing really well, and then fell back. I mean, I've definitely felt like that. I think a lot of people have. It's not just you or me or that one person or her or the person she's singing from the point of view of, or, it's a lot of people. This is a huge issue right now because, again, the world is changing. What we value is changing. And when you go through a school system that says, your only value is kind of how hard you can work for other people's profit, and then you cannot do that. You can't get a job, or there just aren't jobs for you to get. That's going to cause this kind of angst. So let's choose to believe that she's really singing to a generation here. She's singing about a generational issue.
You to know that this is me trying.
Yeah, they go to E there.
At least I'm trying.
So falsetto there, or octave up, baby.
And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
Jack Antonoff does not play like Chick Corea, but kind of has that hunched over Chick Corea look. I really like the kind of Vince Guaraldi, almost kind of snowing piano style. So bridge is just F sharp minor and D. It's hard for me to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. Along those lines, kind of speak singing, kind of the rubato falling out over the lyrics. Okay, so now it's more specifically about the loss of somebody. Also, maybe it's just connected with somebody who longs to be back in high school or longs to be back in that relationship. I don't identify with that. I don't want to be back in high school. Glad to be gone. I understand what they're saying, is that this is somebody who longs for that time in their life when they felt they were all golden and just potential. And they were in the cool relationship, and they went to the cool school, and everything was perfect for them. No familiarity with that myself. And it's something that tears them apart because they feel they reached their peak at 15, 18, whatever it is. And of course, nobody does. I have tragic news for you out there. If you're 15 or 18, you're going to be a much smarter version of yourself in 10 years. And if you're 25, you're going to be a much smarter version of yourself in 10 years. We all are. I definitely don't long for those times, but I can really hear this song trying to hit a very specific audience, maybe a group of people. And, it's interesting here that she does not specify the gender of who she's singing from, the point of view that she's singing from, and she's not being specific about the gender she's singing to. This seems to me to almost be a song to young men specifically, who are really having this trouble, probably more than young women right now. Suicidal thoughts or something that affects men more than women. There's been a lot of articles just in the last couple of years about young men kind of falling away from the professional working class as, they kind of, for reasons like this. So it's interesting. I like that, it's almost as if she's kind of talking from a man's point of view. here, or talking to young men in a certain way. That's what it seems like she's saying. You know, that's a hard thing to do. Angry young men. I mean, she says, you know, and when I shoot to kill, or my words shoot to kill. They're hard people sometimes, especially, you know, teenage men or young boys they can be very wrathful, angry people. I mean, I was certainly a very wrathful, angry young man. I maybe didn't wear it all the time or show it all the time, but there's tremendous amounts of anger out there. And I think what she's trying to do is just try to connect with some of that. Say, you know, there's, you know, people see you. You know, it's okay. Like the song, short one, short but sweet. And I am tall but sweet. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Check out my channel for more. And until next time, I keep playing.